Unfortunately, we've been through government shutdowns and partial government shutdowns in the past.
The Domestic Violence and Child Advocacy Center in Cleveland feeling a financial pinch until our government reopens.
The Violence Against Women Act, on the books since 1994, expired at the start of the shutdown along with its grant dollars. News 5's Mike Brookbank tracking the impact. And Mike, now it's business as usual for the Domestic Violence and Child Advocacy Center.
Yeah, Frank and Danita, it is for now. If the shutdown lingers, though, that could change. Right now, money the nonprofit relies on for its programming to help victims is on hold.
We do see a certain amount of anxiety.
Leslie Quilty and the staff at the Domestic Violence and Child Advocacy Center watching developments out of our nation's capital very closely.
We have about $350,000 annually that we receive from the Violence Against Women Act.
That act now expired because of the partial government shutdown.
We find it absolutely unacceptable that legislation like this would not be re-signed in a timely manner.
Connected to the legislation, federal dollars that fund a program to help victims of domestic violence who are deaf and hard of hearing.
We need to continue the programming.
As well as a high-risk team and a program that engages men and boys as allies, all of them relying on grant money from the Violence Against Women Act.
We're confident that our legislators will make the right decisions for victims of violence. It's absolutely imperative that funding continue.
For now, a contingency funding plan is in place to keep those three initiatives up and running. No interruptions for now.
We've been through this before, and we know, that it's the reality of the world we live in, and we just have to keep advocating.
It's during uncertain times like this.
We can't rely on government funding alone. Government funding has ebbed and flowed over the years.
That the staff at the Domestic Violence and Child Advocacy Center look elsewhere for financial support.
We continue to rely heavily on our community, our individuals in our community, to help us continue our mission.
The Domestic Violence and Child Advocacy Center serves about 20,000 victims of violence in Cuyahoga County every year. 1/3 of its $4.5 million budget comes from private donations. In the studio, Mike Brookbank, News 5.